Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Welcome to another edition of Dailyish Devotionals. And I know, you're already disappointed because it's just me here. And yeah, you are stuck with just me today. The interview session of the family is over. I was told by Alex that I should include Storm because he is part of the family, which I can't argue with. He is right, he is part of the family, but he's not much for an interview, quite frankly. So he's best at looking good and freaking out at loud noises. Today, right? We're walking. I know you're waiting for the trials of me and my dog, and we're walking past where the city has their tree pile, and we're past maybe 10 yards on the road, walking past it. All of a sudden, they light it up, so you hear the big woof. Well, my dog instantly thinks that somebody's dropped the atomic bomb on Minden and it is time for shelter, because he tries to take off like a dart, pulling my arm out of my socket. I'm like, man, dog. That wasn't even a loud firecracker. That was barely a loud frog fart. And here you are, freaking out from that whoosh nade. So we walked all the way up, probably 3 blocks of him freaking out, and we finally get to the top of a hill 3 or 4 blocks later, and he finally relaxes. He realizes he's not going to die from this noise that he heard. So, I don't know. I think I figured out why he doesn't like me. I think he can sense my frustration when he acts like a moron like that. And that he knows that I'm not happy with him. So it becomes a never-ending cycle of our battle against each other. So we made it home safely, and he even still came and sat by me before I did this little session. So he at least likes me enough to suck up to get his food and water for the day. The picture behind me, maybe I should explain the picture of a buffalo jam at Yellowstone, or continuing with that theme for the week or longer. We got to experience one of those last year. Was kind of fun, actually. Not for the dump truck driver behind us, who I'm sure was on to the next construction site because he kept honking and wanting them to move and the cars to move, and we're all like, this is the coolest thing ever. Especially we're in a rental van, and we were really hoping one of them would hit the van, but never did. But it sure was neat to be close to watch them walk right past you like that. And of course, our Bible pun over there, the picture of Jonah in the belly of the fish. We're going to look at another lesson here from our book, What If Jesus Was Serious? And this one is about image, which is an interesting discussion because we spend a lot of time and a lot of money on our image, right? One of my vanities, one of my failings is that I like to drive nice cars. So my wisdom and my good sense tends to go out the window when it comes to buying and getting different cars. It's one of the failings that I have, and I wish I would have done better. But I blame my father. I can't take any responsibility for that. That's the way he raised me. He liked driving nice vehicles too, so it's really his fault. I'm just kidding. But it's one of my failings as far as vanity things, and I probably should be better about that. But we spend lots of time, from the way we look, beauty and makeup products. I saw this the other day, a magnetic face mask where it looks like you smear it on your face and then you pull it off with a magnet, and it like cleans your pores and stuff. And I can't imagine if you had fillings in your teeth where you yank those out too, or braces, and all of a sudden the magnet's stuck to the side of your face. But I thought that was just insane. But the other things that we go to for our looks. Some of it, of course, is for health-wise. Maintaining a healthy weight is important for health and that. But we also like to put and project our best selves, of course, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But it becomes bad when we start to be the ones that judge others, or that vanity and that projection is not what's at the heart. And that's what the railing again, or the complaining is against Facebook and the social media, is that you don't get the true things, you just get the highlight reel. It's all about image. What can I post on here to make me look so good or better than the others, or comparison stuff. And that's where the trap falls in. The title of our book today, from What If Jesus Was Serious, is If Jesus Was Serious, Then Our Image Isn't Everything. He's got some stats here from the mid-2000s, and he says that it was likely that Americans were bombarded by 5,000 ads a day. I can't imagine now with social media and all the online videos and stuff where the ads pop up all the time. It's got to be higher than that. And he says, one way or another, most ads are about image. The image of the brand being advertised or the image of the consumer. These two image identities are intertwined. Now, there's nothing evil about marketing, he says, but absorbing thousands of image-focused ads each day can lead us to believe that our external image is all important. Now, what is beneath the surface and beyond the perception of a superficial culture is irrelevant. Ads make us think that what on the outside that counts. Even before any of the social media back in Jesus' day, people were also fixated on the outer image. Of course, the image wasn't based then on brands or possessions, but more on religious practices and symbols of piety. More like the I can be holier than thou, or I can practice my religion better than you. I can follow these rules better than you. And their mindset there was more, if you follow the rules better, then you're blessed more. If you don't follow the rules good, then you are cursed or not blessed as much. So it would be, if you see someone doing well, appear to be living a good life, well, they must be pious, they must be holy, they must be following God's laws and blessed. And you see someone who's struggling, thinking, oh, they're not good, they're not following laws, they're not doing what they're supposed to, so God is punishing them. We know today that it doesn't work quite that linearly. Let's not do good, blessed, do bad, cursed. Crappy things happen to good people for absolutely no reason all the time. And good things happen to crappy people for no reason all the time too. But Jesus came along and he dismissed that importance of external emphasis and instead emphasized what was in the heart. In God's kingdom, outward piety or holiness without inward purity is the definition of hypocrisy. And that's what Jesus talked about, and he called them hypocrites for, is that the Pharisees and the religious leaders would all practice and appear to be doing all the things, but yet their heart wasn't in the right place, because they were angry when Jesus reached out to sinners and to tax collectors and people that were the lowest of society, those that were considered beneath them and not living the right way. Or when Jesus didn't follow the rules exactly and he healed people on a Sabbath. Their focus was more on the rules and how it looked rather than what was in someone's heart. Might sound a little familiar. That's why Jesus said, blessed are the pure in heart on a Sermon on the Mount. He's more concerned with our internal posture toward God. If the heart is good, what we produce on the outside will be good as well. If our heart is wicked, then no amount of image management on the outside will be enough to make us right with God. So it truly is what is on the inside. What's your relationship like with God? If that is strong, then it will be projected outward, and it won't be a reward with BMWs and a pool in the backyard and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank account and a 4-story house with the maid and the chef and the butler. That's not what the reward is. The reward is more a sense of peace, a sense of calm, a sense that even amongst all this chaos and all this craziness and uncertainty, that there is something certain, and that is our hope and our belief in a God who in the end makes things all right. Ultimately, if our relationship is right with God, then we will experience more blessings and more peace and more hope. But we have to work at it. That's why I continually talk about those devotions and spending time with God. The more you work at it, the better that connection is, the more you can experience that hope and that peace. Won't necessarily bring that BMW. I've been praying for that for years. But it will bring you some things that are even greater than that. So how is your heart? Pure, upright, not perfect, of course. As long as you're working on it, making it better, we're on the right path. Amen. Rumor Central. The wife is willing to do an interview. So look for that on Monday.